Hi guys, Sedu here. In today's video, I want to share how I became fluent in English on my own. And honestly, I did it in a pretty lazy way, but it worked. Before I dive into the exact strategies that helped me, I'd like to give you a bit of background on how I first started learning English. I think this will give you a better understanding of why these methods worked for me. But if you want to skip straight to the strategies, feel free to jump to the strategies section from the chapter's link down below in the description. So here's a little bit about me. I was born and raised in India. I lived there until my early 20s before moving to Canada. My native language is Tamil, and that's what I spoke every day growing up. I wasn't actually good at English, not until my mid 20s. I want to tell you exactly what I did to reach my current level, which hopefully you'll agree is pretty decent. But I'm not gonna lie, it took me a long time to get here. I'll never forget when I first moved to Canada, I thought my English was okay, but then reality hit. I remember sitting in a noisy university cafe with some students from England. We were chatting and I just couldn't follow the conversation. The background noise made it even harder, but it wasn't just noise. I realized my English level was much lower than I thought. That moment made me realize, wow, I really need to improve my English. Now, let me share the strategies that helped me. And here's the interesting part. I did not even know I was using these strategies at that time. It was only looking back that I realized these were the things that actually worked for me. Let's get into it. Strategy 1, listening. One of the biggest things that helped me improve my English was listening, but not in the way you might think. I wasn't focusing on every word, trying to figure out how the sentences were built. I was simply enjoying the content. I would rewatch the same videos, shows, and movies over and over because I liked them. I wasn't even thinking about learning English at that time, but without realizing it, my English started to improve. Repetition is the name of the game. Think about how children learn to speak. They hear the same words and sounds again and again until it naturally clicks. That's exactly what happened to me. Another important part of this was that I listened without subtitles. You might be wondering, why Sedu? Why without subtitles? But in reality, subtitles can actually hold you back. I found that when I used subtitles, I was just reading instead of listening. It took my focus away from how words actually sound and flow in conversation. By removing subtitles, I was forced to pay attention to the sounds, the way the words were pronounced, and the speaker's tone and rhythm. I started noticing details like facial expression and intonation that made the language feel more natural. Here's the thing about English. It's not a phonetic language. That means that how we say the word is not always the same as how we spell the word. So it makes it even more important to listen than read. For me, it all came down to listening, enjoying, and repeating. That's what made the difference. Strategy 2, complete immersion. The second strategy is to surround yourself with English. I surrounded myself with English in every part of my day. I listened to music, watched sports with English commentary, read articles, and spoke in English. Everything I did was in English. The more I immersed myself in the language, the easier it got. I'm sorry to break the bad news, but there are no shortcuts to fluency. Those learn English in 30 days promises sound exciting, but they simply don't work. So here's the thing, fluency takes time and effort. It requires more than 1,000 hours of real exposure to start seeing real progress towards fluency. It may sound like a lot, but the more time you spend listening, speaking, and engaging with English, the faster you'll improve. There's no easy way around it, but if you stay consistent, fluency will come naturally. Strategy 3, focus on comprehensible input. Listening is super important, but remember, it only works if the input is comprehensible. If what you're listening is too difficult, you won't understand, and therefore it won't help you improve. So here's the thing. We learn best through implicit learning, where you naturally absorb the language without realizing it. But if you're constantly lost in complex sentences and unfamiliar words, your brain can't make those natural connections. Therefore, the content must be easy enough to follow, but still challenging enough to introduce something new. Dr. Stephen Krashen explains this with his N plus 1 theory, which means you should understand almost everything you're hearing, but there should be just one new word or idea for your brain to figure out. This keeps your learning engaging and effective without feeling overwhelming. I know it's tempting to jump into native level content right away, but that'll only slow you down. You need to start with content that matches your level. You should understand and enjoy what you're listening to. Therefore, by choosing the right level of content, you'll improve faster and stay motivated. Strategy 4. Speaking takes a lot of practice. Listening helps you understand English, but becoming a confident speaker takes a lot of practice. One thing that really worked for me was picking a short video that I enjoyed and repeating each sentence out loud with emotion as if I were the speaker. You might wonder why with emotion. Simply repeating words is robotic and isn't enough. But when you speak with emotion, matching the speaker's tone, you connect more deeply with the language. Therefore, your speaking becomes more natural and fluent. Those are my 4 strategies. Give those strategies a try and let me know how they work for you. If you found other methods that help you learn English, I'd love to hear about them. Share your thoughts in the comments down below. If you want more videos like this to help with your English learning, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.